Thank you for watching Policy and Prejudice. This is Chris Stevenson. A few weeks ago, a terrible thing happened in the state of Florida. I should say another terrible thing. A couple of years ago, a little girl was killed, murdered, by her own mother, only 2 years old. Over that course of time, she has been in the news, and they finally decided that she should be arrested and go to trial. It's a mockery. You know, it seems like the judicial system dragged their feet throughout the whole process, while this woman named Casey Anthony was conning the whole country. Casey Anthony, I really shouldn't even say her name anymore. She's not worthy to be mentioned, but she's out there somewhere, free and able to do what many of us take for granted, and she doesn't deserve to be. She should be sitting on death row. That is my opinion. Matter of fact, it's a fact. I don't know if Casey Anthony actually killed her daughter. She did the physical wrongdoing, but she certainly helped cover it up, which makes her very culpable. I really believe that she's the murderer. The jury in that courtroom could not piece together chloroform, duct tape, and a dead body. They refused to do it. The jury in that courtroom could not piece together this woman, this guilty woman, and the fact that even weeks after she was missing, she told the police at that time that she had talked to Kaylee on the phone a day or so beforehand. They couldn't put this together. I guess they needed videotape. But you know, when white people have their minds made up to let somebody off, videotape doesn't do any good. I refer back to Simi Valley with Rodney King. You know, it was just a very dumb verdict. That's all there is to it. What you're getting out of here is the what I call the all-white, I'm okay, you're okay. It's very hard for white people to arrest and convict and find guilty other white people in the most heinous of crimes nowadays. It's getting harder and harder to do that. Police officers, as I was made aware of last week by one guy on my Facebook page, seem to lack the complete know-how of even wanting to arrest white people. And that, you know, it's what's going on. It's even happened in Buffalo. I've seen it. You know, it's just a pathetic situation that's going on. So there you have the most publicized case almost in the nation regarding this young lady and her daughter. Young lady can't be relied upon. First of all, she's a complete and utter liar. You know, implicating her father for child molestation, blaming all these other factors on her behavior. No, Thousands of women, probably tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of women have been molested by a father or an uncle or whatever. It's a horrible thing. But they raise children successfully themselves. So I don't excuse her for one split second. Fact is, the jury punked out. I'm okay, you're okay. No, everything's not okay. Everything's not okay. A two-year-old girl is dead. Lost within all of this controversy, all the media backlash and the media hype, is a 2-year-old is dead. People have become so outraged over this that people who look like Kaylee Anthony that live in other cities have been assaulted. There was a black man named Casey Anthony. I think he's on Twitter or Facebook. From what I hear, he was threatened. His life was threatened. Understand, people, Casey Anthony's a common name. It's not hard to put Casey and Anthony together. She's not the only one that lives in the United States. You know, that's a bi-gender name. basically. Either a man or a woman could carry it. But people have become so blinded, and it's dangerous to do things like this in this country because you have a lot of white Americans who get overly involved in things. Not all of them, but more than a few, more than enough, who get so emotionally involved that they ignore the truth right in front of their face. That's part of the problem, a large part of the problem with this country. So now, when the jury did this, they basically gave up their own intelligence, their own adulthood, and they rendered a very childish and silly and short-sighted decision. I don't know what their reasoning was. Some people say it's because of they felt they could get more publicity through outrage throughout the nation than they could if they just did the common sense thing and sentenced her to death, and nobody would have noticed them anymore. That kind of thinking is going around. I call it overthinking. Just do the right thing. Stop being a head case. What happened to Casey Anthony is, she's a free woman now. She doesn't deserve to be, and she knows it. She's getting money. She's getting offers, from what I hear, even so much as I think a porn studio is offering her $60,000 to do a flick. To do a series of porn flicks, I think. It's just disgusting. Very subhuman stuff. I don't know how the woman can live with herself. I get the feeling that Casey Anthony wanted Kaylee out the way just so, she felt that Kaylee was stopping her from having a good time. That's all she wanted to do. Party, take drugs. Cavort with all kinds of men. Be a lesbian. Can't do that with the daughter standing in your way. You're being called upon to be a mother. So whatever the plot was, this woman does not deserve. She did not deserve the court decision that she got. She didn't deserve that not guilty verdict. Jury theorizes that she was only guilty of lying to the police. One thing connects to another. One of those lies I previously stated to you was that she spoke with Casey over the phone, and this is weeks after she was missing. And she said, oh yeah, I talked to her on the phone yesterday or whatever. That's one of the lies. One thing connects to another. So you got a dead 2-year-old girl. I don't know how old she would have been today, maybe 3 or 4 or 5, whatever. And nobody being punished for it. Just a mixed up group of middle-class white people in Florida who are not going to pay any consequences. Led by the dingbat mother. Extremely selfish, modern-day, single mom out there who could care less. Is that what this nation is coming to? And it's not just white people. Same thing happened to black people. Young boy was murdered. He was tortured to death after a young lady left her with, I think it was her girlfriend, and her girlfriend was her godmother, was the baby's godmother, little boy's godmother. The young lady's boyfriend began torturing him until he died. I think the young man may have been 3 years old or something like that. So it's not it's a race aspect from the standpoint of, yeah, Kaylee got away with it. This guy right here is not going to get away with this, and nor should he. But Kaylee, yeah, she deserves to be on death row. The country needs examples of punishment. The less you show people being punished, or the less people know they're going to be punished for certain things, the worse they're going to act. I don't care how you view it, liberal, conservative, whatever. Going soft on situations, obvious, no-brainer situations like this is not going to make people stop and think and look at peaceful resolutions. If you believe that's what's going to happen, then you're dreaming. People are going to see this, and they're going to, and maybe that situation with the young man is a reaction to that. Was an immediate reaction to that. You know, as well as another situation. You had a young boy who murdered his parents because he wanted to throw a party. His parents didn't let them, so he bludgeons them. He bludgeons both his parents to death with a hammer, and then hides their bodies underneath the bed. Has all his friends come over, and they have an all night long party. Somebody tipped the police off to this, and I'm glad they did. They would have found out sooner or later anyway. This guy here, young teenager, he's now in custody. So I think that verdict led to a sense of invulnerability amongst some of the youth out there today, who are now saying, "Hey, yeah, you know, we can kill kids now. We can kill who we want to do. Whoever is stopping us from having a good time, we can kill them." You know, it's like that old song by the Beastie Boys. You got to fight for your right to party. Now they're killing for their rights to party, and I think the Casey Anthony jury was a key point in that. That was the I don't know what you call it, the lightning rod regarding that, the impetus. And it's going to get worse before it gets better. For clbTV, this is Chris Stevenson. Thank you for watching Policy and Prejudice. You have a good week.